Welcome to the Kicking on the Head podcast. And tonight we have the first episode of the Head Kick Pod. And without further ado, with no ado, true or false questions, gentlemen. Defend your side. Let's go. True or false? Dricus Du Plessis made his professional MMA debut in the same year that Khamzat Chimaev started training in Sweden. True or false?
True.
True.
Okay, so Ola is true. Achi is true. Tell me why you think that, Achi. Ola, quickly.
Wild
I went
guess.
true as well.
Nah, because it was during COVID, right? Because I think
Yeah.
Dricus was during COVID, and Chimaev hadn't made his debut actually.
No, remember
Yes.
Chimaev had real bad COVID during those times.
Yes.
Like
Oh yeah.
it was bad. We didn't even know that it was gonna carry on.
Oh yes. Oh, that I remember. Yes. Yeah.
So
Okay, so true for you guys. The answer is false. DDP debuted in 2013. Khamzat moved to Sweden in 2013. So when did he start training in MMA? But yeah, that's the answer to that one. Second question. The current EFC athlete medical protocol includes mandatory annual brain MRIs for all active fighters. True or false?
active brain
I
MRI.
would say
false.
true.
Yeah, I said true. They got to check for
I would
CTE,
say
you
true.
know,
Yeah. Because everything. Because Graham said
Okay.
everything, right?
because
So even outside the cage, even outside when they perform.
yeah,
So I
man.
would think that,
Otherwise, they would need one of them things Kraken is wearing right now. So
Yeah, man.
Okay, so you guys went true. I went false. The answer is false. Fighters get medicals before bouts, but full MRIs are not mandatory annually unless flagged. That's the only time they have annual MRIs for fighters.
What?
Next question. Khamzat Chimaev has represented, it's not mandatory. Next question. Khamzat Chimaev has represented 3 different countries across his wrestling and MMA career. True or false?
Yeah, it's Palestine, Russia, then Sweden, right? So 3, yeah, that's true.
Ola?
false. I'll say 2, not 3.
What?
You say 2. I say 3. It's, oh shit, wait. No, I'm with Ola. I say 2. It's UAE and Sweden.
No, but didn't he?
Yeah, I say
he fought
2.
for Palestine.
Wow.
No, that's Bilal.
No,
But
he
you're
switched
going with,
for I looked at for
okay. So you're going.
Let's see what they
Go with
let's see what the
true.
answer.
Okay, so you're going true. You're going true. Ola's going false. I'm going 3 different. I went with Ola. I'm going false, and the answer is, let's see, drum roll. True. He fought for Chechnya, Russia,
Yes.
then went to Sweden, and then trained under UAE.
Oh.
So it's true.
Oh yeah.
What do you
Oh,
know?
right.
Oh, because he had the flag, right? Because I assumed he had the flag for Palestine.
Yeah, I don't think that meant he fought for Palestine.
Oh,
He might have been
he was
representing their cause though, but didn't
Okay.
compete for them properly.
Yeah.
Plus, he's originally Chechnyan.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, pull
Next
up,
question,
cross,
true or false?
pull
PFL
up,
Africa,
pull up. Let's go, cross.
pull up, cross. Next question, true or false? PFL Africa is a fully licensed separate promotion from PFL Global with its own championship belt. Is that true or is that
Hold on.
false?
No,
I say that's false.
before we go ahead, like you shouldn't be part of this quiz. Mr.
Yeah.
Bell.
Why is he
You got the
picking?
I can
fucking
explain.
answers, bro.
I can
You got the
explain.
answers, bro.
I can explain. No, I can even show you, but everything will switch off now. I don't have the
You know
answers,
what I mean?
so
At the very
it's
least,
it's
at the
structured
very
such
least,
that I have to
at the
click.
very least,
How
get
the hell
can you
don't
reading
you
the
have the
answer?
answers?
I can accept that. At the very least, get can you reading the answer?
I-
I can't accept you reading the question, giving us multiple
Then-
answers.
Okay, we'll
We need an independent body, bro. Like this is
Yeah.
discombobulating my brain.
I can-
I can't engage in a quiz with you when you got the questions and answers, bro. No, man, no.
You got the scope.
let me explain 2 things. In future, yes. So probably the way the chats are working now, they'll drop the question in the chat, and then we'll all have to answer true or false, and then they'll put the answer into the chat, and then that's how it'll get done. So it
We
won't
need
be
an
from me.
independent body reading the answers. And
It won't be from me.
Yeah, we
all right,
need
so
USADA.
where's
We
Kanye?
need USADA.
Get Kanye here right now.
She's already in here.
Can you hear right
But
now?
hold on, just to make you comfortable for this quiz, I don't have the answers. I only see the answers after I click.
I mean,
after
you live
reading
in
the
South
question.
Africa, bro. I don't know, man. Anything can happen, bro. I don't know.
But let's get to it. Don't worry. There's no points here. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Next
man.
question: True or false? PFL Africa is a fully licensed and separate promotion from PFL Global with its own championship belt. I say false.
I say false. They want to know.
What do you?
Yes,
wanna
I
know,
say,
no?
yeah, because I say false because I saw they had the Champion Series, right? So like, yeah, they had the Champion Series or something. So I think the Champion Series is like for, yeah, the Champion Series is for PFL, not PFL Africa. I would say that. But like, wait, what about the Grand Prix? I'd say true. I'd say true.
Interesting. That's a fair point. Okay, Aki
Because the
says true.
Grand
Are you
Prix,
still on false?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still.
I'm still on
false.
false because I'm just
That's a
thinking
good question.
they're not said they're all one franchise, isn't it? But we'll find out.
Okay, let's see. The answer is drum roll. False. It's a regional expansion under the PFL global umbrella, not yet its own sanctioned body or belt system.
They're all one. They're all one. I
That's
know
that
all
one,
one
okay?
promotion.
okay.
The next question: True or false? Drickus Duplessis holds a university degree in sports science.
False.
No,
No.
right? He never went to
I
varsity.
remember Dricos saying, if I wanted to be a smart guy, I wouldn't have gone into the fight game. I just want to be a knucklehead and knock people the fuck out.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that.
Look, maybe he's done it in his spare time.
Yeah, who knows?
Okay, let's see. I'm pretty sure it's false.
What?
True. Oh my god. He studied at the University of Pretoria before going full time
What,
into
he's a
MMA.
smart guy?
What?
This guy's a
Damn.
graduate. He got a degree.
Oh,
That's why he keeps making people cry, you know.
Oh, hey, listen.
He's a smart fella.
wait. Let me check my facts. No. At this point, I actually need to check my own facts because now
I
I'm
remember
worried,
him
'cause
actually
that one
saying
sounds
that.
very
Like,
fishy.
if
but-
I wanted to be a smart guy, fucking, I would have gone and done something that fighting is not smart as far as he thinks anyway. He just want to knock people out. So, anyways, that's something new that we just found out about.
Okay,
Dricos.
next one. True or false? Under South African labor law, professional fighters are legally entitled to workers' compensation for injuries sustained during a fight.
Hell nah.
Repeat that again. Say that again. Read the question again.
Under South African labor law, now you might not know this one, but professional fighters are legally entitled to workers' compensation for injuries sustained during a
To
fight.
work as compensation. No, that's false.
Yeah,
Even
that's
in South
false. Because
Africa.
like,
Even in South
'cause I
Africa, that's
remember-
false.
But it's a job.
I remember one of the journalists.
It's false.
Yeah, one of the journalists told me that like one of the fighters hadn't got their medical bill paid. So I think compensation is something else.
That's gotta be false. Yeah, I mean that's a whole. Yeah.
Knowing them EFC
Okay, so-
motherfuckers, nah.
Oh, they love you, Kraken.
Next
They love
question. Oh, wait, sorry, not next
Yeah,
question.
what's the answer?
The answer to that one is it must be false. It's false. MMA fighters are classified as independent contractors, so they do not get workman's comp.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Kamsa Chimaev won gold in the Swedish National Wrestling Championship in 2 different weight classes. True or false?
False. Maybe in one. Wild guess.
Okay, you're false. True. Honestly, I have no idea, so I'm gonna go with true. Okay, I guess no one's got anything to say there because we're all guessing, and the answer is true. He won at 86 kgs and
I was
92
gonna say
kgs.
that guy never stops growing, man. You know what I mean? He's probably gonna find out
Sweden.
205 very soon. The way he's
Yeah.
going.
Ooh, Aki, what are you showing us? Okay,
No,
true or false?
bro.
The EFC
Fuck,
is
yeah,
older
hell.
than both Brave. The EFC is older than both Brave and PFL. That must be true. What do you guys say? I say true.
Yeah.
EFC?
Yeah.
EFC.
It's older than Brave and PFL.
Yeah,
yes.
true.
True.
It must be.
Think.
Because I mean, like 2013, Gareth, Soldier Boy, McLennan, etc. So true. EFC was started in 2009, Brave 2016, and PFL 2018. Oh, PFL is relatively young. 2 more questions to go. True or false? South Africa currently has more fighters in the UFC than Nigeria.
Yeah, that's
False. False.
more fighters.
Because
South Africa has more fighters in the UFC than Nigeria. We got 3, 4. Yeah, it's 4.
Nigerian born.
Yeah, we got 4. We got 4. Kennedy, Sadiq, Usman, Easy.
Is
Yeah.
a Nigerian
I think it's
born?
false. I think
And
Nigeria has.
shut your mouth, Kraken, man. Hey, stop taking shots at Easy, bro. I do. Hey, stop it, man. I mean, what's wrong with you, bro? I know you've been in
Hey,
China, New Zealand. Like, calm down, man. You know what I mean? Like,
China
hey,
in black outside, China
no,
inside.
hey, stop it, Kraken. You know what I mean? Can't you see? Look, right
Shout
there,
out to everyone
yeah?
in the chat.
Right there, Kraken. Right there.
China inside.
No,
China
no,
inside.
no. That
Black
insult will
Dragon.
not be tolerated, bro. That insult will not be tolerated, brother. You know
It's
what I mean?
not me. I'm just quoting the guy. I'm just quoting
But,
the guy.
yeah, we got Kennedy, Usman, Sadiq, Easy, and you only got what? Cameron and
The bum. Cameron the bum.
and DDP.
Drickus.
So yeah,
Yeah.
false.
Yeah, Louis Yambula's gone. He's not. He's from DRC. Yeah, I say false. Aki, you say false.
Yeah, false. Because we got a bum
Okay,
champion.
3 falses
Kraken
across
just
the
wants to
board.
take the piss out Easy, man.
China inside.
Yeah, you nailed it. SA only has the 2, and Nigeria has multiple. Okay, last question. Medical aid coverage was a major reason several top fighters left the EFC in the past 5
What?
years.
Say that again.
It's an interesting question.
No.
Medical aid coverage was a major reason several top fighters left the EFC in the past 5 years.
It was paid.
No.
It was paid.
I don't think
False.
so.
I would liken to maybe the pay packets more than medical.
Yeah.
If the pay packets is good, they probably wouldn't
Okay.
complain about medical.
agree.
So I'd say false.
I agree. Okay, let's see. The answer is true.
No.
While not always publicly stated, lack of financial and medical support has been a recurring issue raised by ex-EFC fighters.
Then we were right. We were right because if you listen to the phrase you just read, lack of financial and medical. Financial is first before even medical. Lack of financial, which would be the pay. Because
But
if the pay is good,
but listen, but remember I just said that like fighters were complaining that EFC was not paying for their medicals.
they won't even pay for their transport. Let alone fucking medicals, bro. Like,
let alone medical.
They
Like
don't pay for
imagine them
transport,
dropping
bro.
you off at the hospital only for you to get the bill.
Yeah, you get the bill and the money that you got paid for fucking fighting ain't even enough to cover the bill. Like, bro,
It was barely enough to cover you
where do
getting
we go
there.
from here?
Yes.
And Ola, like you mentioned, fighters like Mark Ewan also left the EFC because it didn't make sense for them financially to travel all the way here. It just didn't make any sense.
And EFC didn't offer
Okay,
no
so-
subsidy. So, there you go.
Now, we have a very interesting dynamic here. So, what we're doing tonight is with these quiz questions, we are going to debate the topics of the night, defending your side. Now, Ola, you're down the middle. Sorry, no, not Ola. Achi, you are down the middle. You had 5 true, 5 false answers. Ola, you had 6 false, 4 true. So you're on the side of true. And I had 7. Sorry, Ola, you're on the side of false. Sorry, not true, false. And I had 7 falses, which means, Achi, you will take the true. Ola, you will take the false. And we are going to go into the topics. But let's start with where we are now, EFC medical aid. Now, I'm just going to play a quick short video for us to understand exactly what the EFC has currently done with regards to medical aid coverage for their fighters, which they started recently in March 2025.
The EFC is the biggest mixed martial arts promotion on the continent.
What the hell happened?
Okay, I hope it works now because now I'm embarrassed a little bit.
The EFC is the biggest mixed martial arts promotion on the continent, with a reach that spans the globe. The goal of the organization is clear: to advance the sport in Africa and provide a platform for African talent to take on the world. On March 6th, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an announcement was made that will change the sport on the continent forever.
We've been running EFC for 15 years, putting on the best platform for African mixed martial artists, and we're really proud and excited to say that today we take it to new heights. We've got the most amazing business partners. They've come and invested money into EFC, giving athletes literally the biggest and best opportunities on the African continent. The athletes are really going to be the ones that benefit the most from this. The first part we're going to be doing is implementing full private medical aid for all of the athletes that compete at EFC. It's the first time that's done, as far as we know, in combat sport history. Gareth, you've been integral with EFC from the beginning. You fought at our first fight, you became our champion, you fought at the UFC, and I'm extremely proud and pleased to say that you're going to be joining our board as the first athlete representative, really the voice of the athletes as well. So welcome.
I have the incredible honor of introducing three powerhouses of business on the African continent. Their achievements span far and wide.
What's happening now is history in the making. For me and for us, it's not just an investment. It's about being able to make an impact and changing the way combat sport is generally.
To be a female up here is completely shattering glass ceiling. And that's what it's all about. Actually having equality for all and recognizing these unbelievable athletes.
We've always invested in our continent. We believe our continent is the next growth market globally. What we want to put back into EFC, get the grassroots and the youngsters to come through and create future champions like yourself, like Drickus, like Martin, what Joey and what we have been able to achieve in Africa. We can't wait for the things to come.
Okay, so you guys have had a look. Shout out Lane in the chats. Welcome to the regular show.
Quick before you continue, man. How many more of those videos do you got? Like
one.
Okay. Yeah, that video there, the vocals was good, but couldn't make out anything what was going on in the actual video in itself. So I was just wondering if I don't know what was going on there. It could be Wi-Fi.
Oh, so basically it's the EFC medical aid. They started in March, and so you, Ola, are team false. Achi, you are team true. We're going to talk about whether this is something that will work, that will benefit the fighters, and that will actually have an impact on other promotions for them to open their eyes and say, oh, well, look, these guys managed to do it. Well, let's get onto that boat. I mean, PFL is now in Africa. This is an African promotion starting it. So let me start with you, team true. Achi, how does the EFC make sure that this is something successful that other promotions will take on?
Firstly, man, I think they shouldn't let this be like the catalyst of everything. They shouldn't just plaster it over everywhere and say, because we have medical aid, this doesn't mean we have to pay our fighters, It can work. It can work because we've had fighters complain about the EFC not paying their medical bill, So first of all, I just hope that this increases the fighter pay moving forward. Yes, it's just the medicals, yes, but with the EFC, it's a tricky situation, man, because they had Mukuru and them, they had these other brands coming in as sponsors, and where did that you see, they have a history of fumbling things. I would say they have a history of fumbling things, fumbling athletes, fumbling sponsors, fumbling opportunities. For God's sakes, they banned me once, and they never saw the vision. They never saw the vision. So hopefully EFC can work this to the core, because it is a great initiative, man. It is a great initiative. I think it's they're one of maybe 3 promotions offering medical aid or something, if I don't remember proper. but like they're one of a real few. So big ups to UFC, and I think it's gonna work out on the medical side. Just want the pay, man. I just want them to pay the.
Just the pay, just the pay. As it is in the chats, do not reduce fighter pay. Do not mess with pay. Hola. Now, Team Faults. This is something that the major organizations, One Championship, UFC, even if you look at Cage Warriors, etc., this is something none of them have taken up. It means that there's definitely something inherently flawed in taking on medical aid for fighters. Why is this not a good idea at this current point in time? Even though it's something that fighters might need, is it not something that could sink the promotion?
Like I said earlier on, for me, the medical is a byproduct of what the real problem really is, which is increasing the fighters' pay and making sure that if the fighters paid, what they're worth, especially when you see what they put on display, then a lot of what they earn can be capped and budget aside for, say, for medical reasons or medical insurance, as the paying in America. Over here in the UK, we got free health service with the National Health Service, NHS. But over there in South Africa, we know how tough it is. We know how mad the economy is. But still, these fighters, they go into the hex and put everything on the line. A lot of them come out there with injuries, and I think a lot of the fighters would be able to cope better with injuries if the pay is substantial enough to the point where they can even take care of the medical bills if it does come to it. We've seen plenty of fighters that come into fight in 30 seconds, they're in there, out, don't get no injuries. So
it sounds like you're saying this is a cop out by the EFC. So instead of paying fighters more, give them medical aid and hope that they don't get injured.
Hope they don't get injured, and hope they'll shut up as well. But these fighters, this is just it's just scratching the surface at the moment. I think what they really want, these guys are prize fighters. Let's not forget, they come there for prizes, not to pay medical bills. Yeah, pay them first.
Yeah.
Don't worry about medical bills later.
Actually, defend your side. Why is it better to have medical aid rather than giving them more pay? Because if the medical bills stack up, there goes your pay anyway.
Yeah, man, and I think I would defend this by saying this, man. Like, hola, these guys train hard, bro. They train hard, and
that's why they're prize fighters.
Yeah, they train hard, But like the thing is, at least they'll have a safety net. A little bit of a safety net, so that like maybe if they get knocked out in sparring, they can like literally go get a checkup. They can literally go get a checkup, because like we know South African hospitals. South African hospitals are trash, bro. And these guys, they need specialists. They need specialists.
You sound like Elon Musk.
They need specialists, man. Because we know that like. The what's this? The physiotherapy, the cryogenic, what the red light therapy, all of those things, they cost a lot of money. And I think, take for instance for the guys in Mamelodi, like the Cameron Simon's future team.
Mamelodi
Warrior, Cameron Simon's future team. Like Mamelodi Warriors and Brothers in Arms. Those are like Cameron Simon's going to be kicked out of CIT, and he's going to train with them guys. Because of his losing streak. Like, his losing streak is going to rival Kati Kati.
Hey, yo, are you co-signing all these things that that Kraken saying on your platform?
Hey, this man speaks for himself, okay? He speaks for himself.
Yeah, man,
Not for me.
I just want to know if you co-signing.
If Cameron goes out to Mamelodi Warriors, I'm still going out there. Speaking of which, I do need to go out and see those Majuba boys out there in Mamelodi. But yeah, keep going.
But yeah, man, it's that. It's that. So we've got guys who don't have like proper sponsors. We don't have we have guys who don't have proper sponsors, because like you see, I would think there's a really huge gap there's a really huge gap of between CIT athletes and let me say Mamelodi Warriors, you know, like, or let me say Pieces team. What's
House of
Pieces team?
Tinkerbell.
Yeah,
Tinkerbell. House of
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell.
You know, Tinkerbell. You know, so I think at least this offers like fighters who are from like a not non-sponsored background. They get to have their shot and be taken care of medically. So I think it is a good idea to have the medical aid.
In the chats, to whoever's listening, shout out. Tell me who won that debate. Do you think it's better to give the fighters their money or to let them heal? Because we know how much the medical bills cost. And if you're not a top fighter, and maybe they have tiers, you know, like if you are top 15, you don't get medical aid because the purse is enough, the bonuses come. If you're less than top 15, guaranteed medical aid, because otherwise, how do you get there? How do you perform effectively? Then you lose great fighters due to injury, but you're not paying them enough. You know, there has to be a balance. So maybe the organizations, major organizations, institute some sort of structure where, you know, top rated fighters don't get it, low rated fighters do, and they do away with the independent contractor business. Yeah.
Look, I was gonna say, if you look at all these other fighters in like maybe slightly more financially stable promotion, it's you still hear it because we hear Francis Ngannou campaign for it at the top level, right? And it's not like it's not needed. But the thing is, because those guys compared to because the economic status of South Africa has to come into play here when we're comparing these other promotions to the EFC. So you have to think about it with logic, and maybe medical pay might not be a bad way to go. But I think if these guys are very well compensated, medical aid is going to be the last. Is going to be the last thing on their mind. They want to get paid handsomely, and then they can take care of themselves and their families.
But you have to take
anything wrong with that.
But you have to take into consideration that EFC are hosting in a basically a shack, man. They basically hosting events in a shack, you know, and they can't sell tickets.
I heard you guys get air conditioning and everything up in there, man.
We do not.
We do now.
We do now.
No. They fixed it 2 events ago. Because 2 events ago,
Kraken was sleeping the last 2 events.
I was sleeping the last event. I was sleeping the last.
He didn't know whether the AC was on or not.
I think that was how I blacked out. That was how I blacked out because there was no AC. I couldn't wake up, man.
It was too hot.
Yeah, it was too hot. But like you see, so we have to take into consideration that EFC is hosting in a shack, and they're not selling as much tickets as they should, you know, like to pay the fighters actually. And most of the time, it's team members, you know, it's team members who are going to these events. You know, and obviously, yes, they do host events on a monthly basis. And obviously that also contributes to the factor of having to pay. I don't know how many fights do they usually have. Let's say 12. You know, that's 24 fighters that they have to pay.
10 to 12.
You know, and that has to happen on a consistent basis. You know, so at least we know that the medical is taken care of instead of because they're not selling tickets. You know, Luke Michael is not a ticket seller. He's not a needle mover.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Michael is not a needle mover. We know that. You know.
Can you leave Luke Michael alone?
Tell him to unblock
Talk about
me
someone
first.
else.
Tell him to unblock me first. When I talk about Kati, yo give me first.
Yeah, I was currently trembling.
Hey, leave the mighty warrior alone.
Why is Kraken determined to ruin my phone book, bro? Like Kraken is determined to mash up my phone book, man. You know, I've been coming on my platform talking shit about these fighters that don't put me on in the first place. I hear you. I feel your pain, yeah. I feel your pain.
Anyone put the crack.
Yeah, I feel your pain.
You wanted the Kraken. You got the Kraken.
Like we We went for House of Tinkerbell last time. That was cool. We go for CIT all the time. But just not do. But anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. Look, I hear you guys. It makes sense, especially as prize fighters. But I think let's get on to our next topic now. I was hoping that Crack was gonna crack. I meant Cross was gonna hop on. So let me leave that one for last. Let's look at the second video now. This has to do, so as I'm sure you guys will be able to tell, the quiz is all around the topics tonight. And the next topic, if anyone hasn't figured it out, is PFL Africa. PFL Africa coming this July. Let's have a look at this. Oh my God, not again. Are you serious?
This is like a new problem, bro.
Bruh, forget the mute button. What's that? Oh shit, I didn't even know that was back.
That's HeadkickPod.
Now I'm absolutely dizzy based on that. Let me get the right video.
Yo, you know what?
PFL.
I gotta shout
Yes,
out that you know the lights on the back and the signs on the back.
I chose the PFL out of everyone in order to change the game of MMA. I see champion in Africa already. It's just a matter of time.
Nothing comes easy. African countries, they are not really on the map. You know, it's okay to come from a poor background. You are solemnly responsible of where you want to go.
Fighting has taught me to show up every day. You got to keep moving forward.
I'm there to fight for my life, to fight for my family, to fight for my country.
Coming here and opening the door for us is a literal dream come true.
The PFL coming to Africa now will give a lot of fighters like myself.
PFL is my big opportunity for my visibility.
All of these hungry fighters that are striving for something.
You know, because this is PFL coming to Africa, one of the biggest stages in the world. Man.
There's some killers out there.
My hands are blessed. Either you kill me or I kill you. I am the king of Africa, and I'm the king of many nations.
You have to put me out cold. That's the only way you will get me from not raised belt.
I'm from Zimbabwe, carrying my flag on my shoulders.
I'm feeling good to representing Angola flag.
Right now, a lot of Nigeria Samoans are fighting. I want to take my family name in the world's map.
The world must know me, must talk about me.
Perseverance, grit, discipline.
That's greatness for me, man.
Can we just give credit to like Simba's reveal, bro? The way they revealed Simba. Oh, that was gangster. It was like that was like a fuck you to the UFC.
And now the EFC's pissed. Apparently, they're not very happy with the fact that he's gone across. Because I mean, especially because they put him into the Grand Prix, the whole featherweight Grand Prix, and he had won. He was winning, and then he pulled out right before his title fight. I think that rubbed them up the wrong way a little bit. But let's talk about PFL Africa. Let's stay with you, Kraken. Look, Ola, jump in anytime. You know, it's a debate. But especially as Team True. Actually, no, we started with you last time, Kraken. Let's start with Ola. Team False. Now, PFL has come into Africa. We've been expecting them for some time, right? Them coming into Africa at this point in time with all the other mushrooming MMA organizations. I know there's like at least one in Ivory Coast. There's at least two in Nigeria. I think there's at least two in Ghana now. There's one in Kenya, Mauritius. The point is there are MMA organizations everywhere at this point. Is this the right time for them to be infiltrating the African MMA scene, whereas the African MMA scene was already building itself? Shouldn't they have stayed at the level they were for fighters to maybe progress there? Is this the right time for PFL Africa to be coming into Africa? And let's say stealing top talent from other promotions like, as Aki said, the Simba reveal.
Okay, first of all, just wanted to say how nice your sign is in your background. The Head Kick Pod. I just had to shout that out real quick. I was gonna do that just before the video started playing earlier on. Yeah, that looks dope.
Thank
That
you.
looks dope. Okay, PFL coming to Africa. I think they're coming at the right time. Definitely, African MMA needs bigger eyes, needs bigger promotion to come and show love, because there's one thing that these fighters love to do, and it's across sports. It's not just fighters, and it's operating, competing at the highest level, right? So bringing PFL to Africa and the type of eyes that they're going to have on them, because now we have a date. This is something UFC was supposed to do, yeah, and they were taking long with it, owing and iron with it. PFL says, listen, we're committed to bringing PFL to Africa. We're making Francis Ngannou the ambassador for PFL Africa. This is absolutely the right time to be bringing PFL to Africa, so these guys can get the icing on them. They can get, probably a bit more in terms of pay packet than what they getting currently with their various promotions, and see what other, because this game is all about opportunities. It's all about right place, right time, right event, right eyes, and who knows, what door them fighting under that PFL Africa can do for them. When the UFC Africa was teased that was coming to Africa, I remember, we did it on so many dust up shakedowns. How many fighters, Big Shad, Blammy, Adrian Sanchez, all these guys, Terence Balelo, they were all excited about the prospect of UFC just coming to Africa. Like, they would have competed for free just to get the exposure of fighting under the UFC banner, right? But right now, PFL is the next big thing. Let's be honest. PFL is the next big thing. So, you know what? I'm with it. I think it's absolutely right. The right time for them to come to Africa. And a lot of fighters are going to benefit from it just by, fighting under that promotion and that banner. And who knows who PFL can even sign on a full-time basis coming through from under the PFL Africa. So yeah, all of this is a plus. It can only be a plus for African fighters.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone who is watching in the chat. Thank you for joining us on the regular show, Head Kick Pod Regular Show. Welcome to the regular show. Aki, now you've heard what Ola said, and look, I tried to push him to a corner and get him to say no, it's not a good thing, but he didn't.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll take the mantle. I'll take the mantle. I have a few concerns. Yeah.
Take the mantle. What would be a negative side, other than poaching of fighters? Because personally,
you call it poaching, I call it opportunities for the fighters. Positive opportunities as well. You call it poaching.
Okay. It's true. It's true. I guess you're right, because technically is the UFC poaching when they get fighters from other promotions. If it's Dakota Tacheva, yes,
and everybody thanks Dana for the opportunity. That's what they say. That's all I hear.
This is true. This is true. But Aki, let's hear from you. So what could be something that I guess has a negative impact from this on the African MMA scene? Because yes, it's new, but like I said, there's all these promotions mushrooming up. There's fighters everywhere. Will it create some sort of dilution where suddenly, because PFL Africa is here, you have these smaller promotions falling away, and then that then dilutes the quality of what PFL Africa can then get, and then suddenly they're gone, and then they've distracted the entire African MMA scene. Is there something negative that can come from this?
Yeah, man, let's just first start by saying this, man. Nobody starts MMA and say, oh, I want to be in the PFL one day. Nobody does that. Everybody says, I want to be in the UFC. I want to be in the UFC, and nobody's going to aspire to be in the PFL. And personally, just like you said, like the UFC is mad that Simba left, you're right? So this means if Simba loses, he's in shit. He's a deserter. No, like MMA promotions are not gonna want him because like he was a contender in the EFC. He was a contender in the EFC. So he's a deserter. He's gonna be shunned. You know, he might get blackballed if he loses. You know, and how is the pay really? Yes, I saw that they were giving like $100,000 to the winner of the Grand Prix. You know, yeah, they were giving 100,000. But like, how does the pay work? As they fight,
And that's one person.
yeah, you know, yeah.
Yes.
So how does the pay work? And secondly, why Cape Town? Cape Town is far, you know. Cape Town, like, because yes, the tickets are very, very. I think it's more than half of UFC EFC tickets. It's more
Maybe
than-
the arenas
comparatively
in
dirt
Cape
cheap.
Town is not a shack.
Yeah, it's not a shack, but like
So you pay more for a shack. then.
how many MMA promotions do you have? No, how many MMA gyms do you have in Cape Town? You know, I know Cape Town is a world-class city and everybody wants to go there, but like
It's not about the gym. It's
fair,
it's
that's
about it's about where the event is being held, right?
yes,
So if
yeah,
the
that I
event is
get.
being if the event is being held there, and PFL can even maybe, if it's a successful one, put a PI there, that can only be good
Okay.
for
Yeah.
for Cape Town. No,
Yeah, but true. Yeah, I get that. But like, remember, most of the MMA fighters, like take for instance Balelo. Balelo comes to Joburg to train, to finish his camp. Balelo comes to Joburg, and Cape Town is like what? Like a
Altitude.
plane ticket, to Cape Town for me personally, from Lanseria to Cape Town International is like 2,500 rand. I think let me just do my math calculations quickly. 2,000.
It's like $100, $120.
Yeah, let's say $140. You know, it's like $140, and just like the Kevin Lorena fight, Kevin Lorena had all the boxing gyms coming to support him, right? Like, I don't think if they, because like, listen, they had to give away tickets. They're gonna have to give away tickets. You know, they're gonna have to give away tickets. If they had given away tickets in Joburg, people would have came. People would have came. You know, but like in Cape Town, I think we have what's that? I think we have 3 gyms. We have Troublemaker, we have Luke the Duck, and
Luke Michael's gym,
and we have the P
World Sport Betting PI.
P something, right? There's like the P something.
So we got 2 champions in Cape Town, and you're complaining.
No, listen, but like those guys,
And we had 3 when Terrence was a champion.
yeah, true. We had 3, but like, listen, okay. Everybody is not there. The fans are not there, you know? The fans are not there. That's why every time they have to come, like, come on. Cairo lives in Cape Town. Graham lives in Cape Town. Why do you think they
All of
came?
this is making sense to me. I mean, the more you make that argument, the more sense
Come
it
on,
makes.
Ola. Come on, Ola. The people who own EFC come to Joburg to host because there's a talent pool and there's a fan.
Maybe that's the mistake they're making.
Like what? Coming to Joburg?
Because maybe that coming to Joburg.
Nah.
Yeah.
Hell nah. Trust me, bro. Like,
you're not sold on Cape
no,
Town.
Cape Town is too far of a big one.
So what? The only thing that I'm hearing from you now is logistics.
Yeah, logistics
about Cape Town, not
logistics,
not the viability of the event being successful in Cape Town. Do you think the event would be successful in Cape Town though, if it was held in Cape Town?
If it was held in Cape Town, or the PFL event, I'm gonna be there. We're about to find out.
All right, so they're not. You're saying it's far, but you're still gonna go.
Yeah, because it is.
It makes sense because people that want to go.
He's a super fan. What's he gonna say?
I'm a super fan. You know, I'm thinking for the
And
locals.
But that kind of
sticks. And that's why it makes sense for PFL to do it there, because if you love it so much, you get up and go. You get up and
There's
go.
only one me, Ola. There's only one me.
And therefore it means that there's a gap in Cape Town, if you think about it, because nationally EFC and Versus are the only two pro promotions. Out in Durban MFC is amateur. In Cape Town, Bare Bones MMA is amateur. Versus is still practically amateur. They have 2 pro fights a night. So I mean, there is only one pro promotion. It's in Joburg. Let's go somewhere else. Let's not go and stomp on their territory. If we are really looking to open up new avenues, it's a new avenue. Joburg, we've seen Joburg. We know Joburg. It's been done. What's the next frontier? Maybe that's their considerations. Their consideration. Shout out MMA Normally. Thank you for joining us, bro. The fact is, UFC is the goal for every fighter, because the UFC knows this. They can pay you pennies. But if you do well in the UFC, every other promotion will be willing to pay you after. So if you do well, look at Pat. Let's take Patrick, for example. Patrick the Beast of Cheme, he was fighting EFC, and now he's been taken up by the PFL, where they are paying him better. UFC is going to see him. You know, this UFC, it's always tongue twisting. Going to see him, then pay him better, because that is the target. Not 100,000 a fight, 120,000 a fight, 150,000 a fight. Then you get to Drickus, where you're at 2.3 million a fight. Drickus' numbers blow my mind. But yeah, so
I mean, imagine,
I think that's it.
Imagine Connor's numbers and John Jones's numbers, and you know what I mean. Imagine them.
But like
40
for
bar,
Drickus, remember like the currency exchange, bro. Currency exchange is
he's already a billionaire in
like if
in South Africa, man. In South Africa currency, man. That brother is already a billionaire, man.
If he fights,
he's making boxing money, basically.
Yeah, he's making boxing money in South Africa. So in South African rands.
Yeah,
you know,
South African. That's crazy.
In South African rands. But like,
crazy,
yeah, man. But I get it. Like MMA normally, I get it.
Speaking of, and I was hoping that Crossover would have hopped on by now, but speaking of DDP, he is about to fight the Wolf.
We got
Hamza Chimaev at UFC. Yeah, he doesn't want to give you that $50, bro. Cross, please hop on. Please, Achi wants his $50. He needs his 50. He's hungry for that 50, bro. He's waiting. So we have Drickus here talking to Hamzat. And we know Drickus is the king troll. Achi and Ola, you don't know this, but Achi, he is the quintessential prefect, but is actually a bully. You know that prefect that's supposed to be like making sure all the kids are all good, but he is bullying the shit out of them, and you can't see it, but the kids are in distress. Yeah. That's who Drickus is. You can't play with Drickus. It's crazy. And you've got Chimaev, who, as Cross likes to say, is going to rely on his fighting. Now, in terms of the press conference, we know how both of these guys are on the mic. Team True, Achi, defend the fact that the Wolf.
Defend the Wolf?
That is gonna, I'm sorry.
Defend the Wolf?
I'm sorry, bro.
How you going to do me like that?
It's defend your side. Your Team True, my friend. I'm sorry. My man down there's Team False. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dog.
Hey, Kraken, good luck defending against Drickus. You brought the flag on yesterday. If I'm going to clip this, and then I'm going to clip what you had on yesterday with your flag, bro. Go on, Kraken. Defend. Defend the Wolf, bro.
This is the only place where I'm the one who has control. You chose to. It is what it is. Let's go.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, man. Okay. What?
We're not talking about the fight. We're talking about on the mic.
You always got some shit to say anyways, man. You might as well just let off. Bro.
Yeah. Hey, man, like I would say that just like the donuts, man. Just like the donuts, Chimaev said, I'm gonna talk some shit. You know, just like the donuts, you know. We know but like, come on, man. Like the mere fact that he commented the 3 donuts on Dricus's team, you know, and everybody was like behind him, and obviously he was alluding to, you know, jacuzzi bros, you know, he was some jacuzzi activity, you know. So yeah, man, Chimaev's good on the mic. Chimaev's good on the mic, you know, but like the problem is like I think it's the English barrier. It's the English barrier, but like he knows how to hype up a fight. Obviously Dricus is gonna catch him with like yeah, you see that's the problem. Like he was a menace when he was young. You know, now he's old.
Fight everybody, kill everybody.
Yeah, you know, like it was that, you know, but like now I think Chimaev should do most of his talking in the cage, but like he did with Robert Whittaker. He did his talking in the cage. You know, he did his talking in the cage, and he made the Reaper reap what he sowed. You know, he made the Reaper reap what he sowed.
And that's what he's going to do to Dricus, yeah?
Actually,
don't save him, yeah? Don't save him. He was about to start digging his own grave. Hey, don't save him. I was about to get him.
I did want to save him.
I
did want to save him because I could see this.
I was about to get him, bro. Like, don't save him. I mean, like, what? Is that what he's going to do to Dricus? Like, what you say, Kraken?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Chimaev's gonna tell Dricus a new asshole, man. Like one to use, one Coach Mornay is gonna use. You know, Chimaev's gonna tell Dricus a new asshole.
Kraken. Okay, look. Okay. I'm saving it.
There. You asked for it. To be fair, you asked for it. This is what you asked for.
I did. Okay, let me save you and come in. Okay, so Ola, what if? Okay, so we saw what correspondence these two have had. What if this troll and what if this engagement here isn't won by Dricus? And by that I mean we know how Dricus wins the mental fight. He's won it against every single fighter. The guys you think are going to be able to challenge him. Izzy, we know how Izzy is on the mic. What did he do? He cried. We know how Strickland is on the mic. What did he do? He cried. He makes the baddest men in the room cry. But what if he can't make Chimaev cry? What if this little exchange doesn't bring Chimaev to the place that somehow Dricus has brought all the other guys to? Does he still have the edge? Does he still have the advantage in the fight if he can't get into Borz's head?
Okay, I have to dispel this first by saying just because Chimaev didn't cry don't mean that DDP didn't get into his head. DDP can get into fighters' head in so many different ways. Well, you know, just one of the other ways that we've seen him display that is with certain fighters crying and not being able to handle how deep it catches them emotionally and stuff like that, and he uses that against them in one of the most fascinating ways that we've seen. But Boz Hamza Chimaev is a fighter that will also know his mindset and the way that he carries himself has always been in the most nonchalant way. But then again, I think there's this thing with Dricus. There's an aura with him. There's a certain energy with him that when you're there with him, it makes you feel unset. There's an unsettling feeling that it makes his fighters feel, and they can get a handle on it. And just because, like I said, that Hamza didn't cry doesn't mean DDP didn't get into his head. And I think DDP got a lot of weapons, and this mental warfare, the build up, the getting into their head, the getting them out of character, making them do stuff that they would normally do, say things they would normally say. These are all hallmarks of how DDP surgically operates their brains and plants the seed up in there. You know what I mean? And you know,
Chimaev's from a war-torn country. Chimaev is from a war-torn country. He had to flee Church there. You know, he had to flee
Yeah.
church there because of the war.
A
And
lot
you're
of
telling me a guy telling him he's an inbred is going to hurt him?
a lot of fighters are from war-torn countries, and they still buckle under the pressure of trash talking. Trash talking is a whole.
He's
Mental assassination is not the same.
Okay, let me give you an example. Trash talking went to a new height when Khabib beat the fuck out of Conor, but he didn't stop there because of the trash talk. He stayed. Conor got in Khabib's head. He didn't let him play out in the cage, but that didn't mean Conor didn't get into Khabib's head, because Khabib will normally do what he did at the end, right? As solid as Khabib is, like, to get into his head and make him act crazy, they nearly banned him. They didn't give him his belt. They didn't pay him that day. They didn't pay him his purse. They didn't even give him the fucking belt. And I see the guy doing the eagle, Bruce Lee style, from top of the cage into the crowd. That's because Conor got into his head, bro. Right?
Yeah.
So
I get you.
to me, I don't think Hamza's got like a stronger mindset than Khabib. DDP can still get in your head and make you do things that you don't want to do. Khabib didn't cry. We saw what Conor did to Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo come from the favelas, man. He's seen all types of shit. And Conor cleaned him out in 13 seconds. Bro, trash talking is one half of the war. You win that, you already won 50% of the fight. You just gotta go.
And here's the thing.
In the cage.
I think I'll jump in and say the only thing that Drickus has to say is Darren Till. And I'm telling you, he's got Khamzat right there. Khamzat's not going to have his faculties, because we all remember the whole Darren Till training, that whatever, it was odd, it was strange. Yeah. They were very, very close, which is fine. But you know for a fact that's a sensitive point for Khamzat, because people have poked fun at him for it before. And all Drickus has to do is wait for Khamzat to slip once, which he has already with the donuts. And he's in. It's done.
He's gonna get him with the rat leap. He's gonna get him with all type of things, man. You know what I mean? Like
the rat leap.
DDP is crazy, man. I worry about that, brother. But I worry about it. But yeah.
But yeah, okay. So just to finish off with DDP, we have Robert Whittaker giving his opinion on DDP, and he said, how do you stop Chimaev's takedowns? I don't think Drickus will stop Chimaev's takedowns. Trust me, it kept me up at night. Once Khamzat gets his hands on you, he's going to stay there on you. I believe he will get Drickus down. But if he can't put him away, what does he look like? Coming up in round 2, round 3, Drickus has got a gas tank. If you don't put him away, he'll keep fighting. Now, I should have done it in an Australian accent, but I didn't. But that's what Robert Whittaker said about DDP. Now, let's see what's a good view here. Figuring this one out, Ola, like you said, it's not easy.
The one before this one was better, though. The one before this one was better. No, before. Go back one step.
Here, oh wait, let me go back one step.
No, keep going. One more. Yes.
Yeah, this one's better.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so hearing what Whittaker said, now this ironically echoes exactly what Crossover MMA is always saying. Shout out Jay. He's always saying once Khamzat gets his hands on Drickus, it's over. Robert Whittaker, who's had both men's hands on him, says the same thing. Ola.
Yeah,
pause. You have pause.
Yeah,
pause.
Does he have?
Hey, but like I guess with Drickus we never know.
With Drickus we never know. But do you think Robert's right? Let me. Did Robert make a true statement there? How much truth is there?
I think there's a lot. Is this to Aggie?
No, go for it.
There's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth in what Bobby Knuckles is saying there, because we know one of Hamzat's strength is his grappling. His grappling is phenomenal, and we've seen it we've seen him use it to great effects. You know, I've spoken to some people that's been in there with him, and they said he's like 2-3 steps ahead of you, and once he gets hold of you, it's pretty much it's a case of when, not if. You know, it's just a case of when. But DDP has answers of his own, and it'll be interesting to see how that looks. Gas tank is one of the things that we've levied against Hamza a lot, and that's because of his explosion in the first round. He puts everything into that first round for people not to make it out. And then for him, I'm not worrying about gas tank if I can get you out of there in the first round. All I need is 5 minutes with you, and I'm pretty confident I can get you out. But what if that doesn't happen, which is what Bobby Knuckles is saying there? That's what we're about to find out, because we've said with Gilbert Burns, if he'd had 5 rounds, we'd never find out. With Usman, maybe if there was 5 rounds, maybe things could have changed, but we'd never know. So, but in this fight, he's going to get 5 rounds. He had 5 rounds with Bobby Knuckles. He got it done in the first. But let's see what it looks like here with.
But you have to remember, though. You have to remember with Bobby Knuckles, his teeth were like, I think he had an injury already with his teeth. That's why the teeth caved. And besides that fight, he fought Usman.
But Hamza didn't know that, though.
He fought. Yes, didn't know that. Yes, he didn't know that. It was I would say it was a freak accident. Like that he caught Bobby Knuckles. He caught Bobby Knuckles at the right time. He was at the right time, at the right place at the right time, So personally, first of all, I think look what Usman did to him in a 3-rounder. He took him to a decision for a 3-rounder, at middleweight. And Chimaev has always been, I hate to say it, a weight bully. He did all those amazing things when he was at welterweight. He did all those amazing things. Everybody was scared of him. He was picking up guys, like spinning them and just choking them out. He was choking them out. What he did with, Kevin Holland. We know Kevin Holland is a bum. So there was not even an impressive win. There was not even an impressive win.
Our favorite journeyman.
Yeah, he's there to just collect checks. He's there to collect checks. So first of all, Dricus is big. We know that. Dricus is big, and Chimaev is not gonna pick him up the way he used to pick up guys at welterweight. What he did to Li Jingliang, yes,
Leech.
Sad. I'm still healing. Yeah, Leech. What he did to him, it was sad. It was pitiful. May Dana burn in hell for that. May Dana burn in hell for that. But he fed him to Chimaev. But look at everything. Like Dricus has the body, and Chimaev might want to pick him up, might want to wrestle him. But what if Dricus outpaces, not outpaces him, but outlasts him, has more strength? What if Dricus has more strength? We know Chimaev has gassed out once, for the Gilbert Burns fight, we could have argued that Gilbert Burns won that fight. We have to.
It was a good shot for it.
For a moment, yeah, for a moment, Gilbert Burns won that fight. So imagine a drunk striker who's willing to stand and bang, who's willing to stand. He's just gonna be he's gonna be here.
Close his
and he's
eyes.
just gonna throw, Yeah, he's just gonna do that. So trust me when I say this. Chimaev, to be honest, he is not that impressive. He hasn't been that impressive.
Ain't you supposed to be defending the wolf? What's going on here? No.
No, you were defending him right now. You were defending him.
He tactfully switched sides.
Yeah, because I have to. I have to.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this question then. As far as Robert Whittaker's statement goes, Achi, is it true or is it false that once Khamzat gets his hands on Dricus, it's going down? True or false?
Dricus, no, it's false.
So hold on,
because
hold on, hold
Dricus
on.
is going to be
You're
able
telling
to,
me
to
that
hold him down.
Khamzat
False.
will not get a takedown on Dricus?
No,
I
bro,
want to
we
put
know
my wager on
anybody
this.
can. No.
If you want to do this, I got 50 for you, bro.
You're pulling out your pocket. I
Yeah,
thought you were
let's
pulling out
go.
your pocket right now. I was like, oh, pounds. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's
What,
go.
that
50 pounds.
Hamzat
Dricus
will not take
be able
down
to-
Dricus one time during the
in the first round. In the first round. Yeah, in the first round.
Achi,
Because Dricus will
you're
have
putting a
the
lot of money
strength.
in this fight.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
This is, first, you've got the
Yeah.
I
cross
know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
Let's shake on it.
First round.
First round. First round.
No
Yeah.
takedowns, first round.
No.
We've got it locked here.
First
Ola, you
round,
can
yes.
clip this.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Deal.
I know for a fact DDP knows if he gets taken down, the title's lost. Because Chimaev is fast. Chimaev is fast, but Dricus has that strength. Maybe I don't think Dricus can grapple like that.
I
'cause
think
he's a
Hamza is
K1.
going
So,
in there
Ola,
and
But,
he's not
trust
fucking
me.
around. He's going in there and he's grabbing this brother and he's going to try and take him down. And he knows that's where his bread's buttered. There's a title on the line. It's not going to try and strike with.
So you're
That's
saying
the
true.
problem. That's
So
the
you're
thing.
saying true, Ola.
That's the thing.
Say that again.
So you're saying true when Chimaev gets his hands on
Yeah.
Dricus.
I think he takes him down. I don't. No.
But that's the thing.
Hey, bro. Hey,
But
don't put words in my mouth.
But listen,
No.
there's a
Don't
title on the
don't
line.
put words
There's a
in my
title.
mouth. Hold on. Hey, yo, I see what you're trying to do there. Yeah, right. My conversation here has been very layered. I said, if Hamza takes him down in the first round, right, can he keep him there? What if he doesn't get DDP out of there? What does Hamza's Gamstang looks like? So I'm not saying, oh, just because it gets him down, that's it for DDP. And no. I'm expecting a fight.
Okay. So you're saying Robert Whittaker's statement is true because that's exactly what he's saying, and Achi's saying his statement is false. I'm with Achi. I'm saying false as well. It's not gonna
So
happen.
you don't think Hamza gets one takedown in the first round?
Hey, I'm not putting any.
But
money
I'm
here.
about to.
You're
Hey,
with
I'm
Achi,
about to
yeah.
see. I'm about to see where. I'm about to see if I was about to see if you got some balls when I drop the fucking nuts on the table, bro. Like, boy, what?
Hey man, I seen what you did to Sterling, bro. Like they say about guys who walk into the cage. Me, I know better than to go into a bet with a savage.
Hey, Kraken. I want to forfeit as well with that 50 pound. I want to forfeit too.
You see,
Okay.
Here he goes. He goes.
So
you see, but listen.
So you're going to be there on the watch along, right? Because we're going to do a watch along for this. Cross is going to be there. I'm going to be there.
I'll be at the. I think I'll be at the watch parties watching along with you guys.
You'll be live with us. If that takedown happens before the show's done, and I win or I lose, aside from the money, we let the audience choose a forfeit for both of us, and we have to do the forfeit right down the screen.
No problem.
Okay. Lock it in.
Don't make him peer on anyone. Okay, don't be Diddy.
That's locked in. There you go.
But yeah, man.
Wait.
But listen.
Like,
Wait. Right? Because this is a title fight, Chimaev might take it slow. Because he cannot afford. Because all the time, nothing. Yes, his O has been on the line. Yes, his notoriety has been on the line. But I think Chimaev, he's gonna be excited. We know Chimaev. He's always excited in a fight. But I think he's gonna try to learn from the Kamaru experience. He's gonna try to learn from the Kamaru experience, and the one thing he's gonna do is try to pace himself. Because he's seen Drickus. Drickus has gone to 5 rounders. Drickus has gone to 5 rounders, and he's taken people out. You know, so Drickus has that. He's not a decision machine. He's very versatile. He's very versatile. That's what makes him dangerous.
So you think all of a sudden Hamza just has this new epiphany and thinks he's going to just take it slow in this fight.
This is a title fight, Ola.
Yeah.
This is a title fight.
Look at what Bilal did.
Title fight.
Instead of Bilal using his wrestling, what did he do? He decided to stand and bang, and that's why he lost the title. That's why I'm upset.
That's not what
Hamza's
gonna do. That's not what Hamza's gonna do. Right?
Yeah, but you don't know that until they try to prove a point. And once a fighter comes in trying to prove a point.
Okay, I've seen Hamza. All I'm saying is I've seen Hamza fight so many, a handful of times now in the UFC, and there's not one of his fights where Hamzat has taken the approach of taking it slow.
It's not. He's never been in a title fight.
Come on.
He's never been in a title fight. He's fought Bad Knees Usman and Old Man Burns. That's the best he's done.
I'm just going by what he showed me.
Journeyman.
I'm just going by what he showed me. What he showed me. That's all I'm going by. I'm just going by what he showed me.
Listen, man.
Where is Cross for this?
Remember also, Ola. Remember also all the times that Chimaev has fought. Right? It's been a one-sided debate. How dominant is Chimaev going to be? It's not that case now. It's not. Like, even I used to be scared of Chimaev. I used to be scared because I remember the underdog in this fight while they were in
Drickus.
I know, right? But like, listen, like he's not a huge underdog like he was with the other people, like, because we know that Drickus is the guy. Drickus has that power. He is equally as scary. He is equally as scary. And Drickus is a dog, man. Look what he did to Darren Till, man. Humping from the back. Come on, man. He humped him from the back. And we know that Drickus is a dog. He's willing to slug it out. And Chimaev, if Chimaev gets, or maybe Drickus will. Maybe the what can I say? Maybe the takedown will happen, right? Maybe the takedown will happen.
Forfeit,
but
maybe you pay $50.
Might get out. No. Bro, I do not mind. I'm willing to risk it all. I'm willing to risk it all.
Will Harrell says Khamzat's going to destroy DDP. Ooh, I don't know about that. Inspector says DDP will melt Khamzat. Ooh. Let's see if it goes that way, because it definitely will. And then we have Nonmi saying that he can't tell if Kraken hates DDP or Khamzat, because I think Kraken hates everyone and loves everyone as long as they don't block him. Yeah. He's cool, right?
Yeah. That's the thing. But Drickus ain't been responding to my text, so I might hate him too. Who knows? Who knows?
Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Head Kick Pod regular show. Achi, Ola, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. This was, for me, look, I had a really good time. This was the first episode of the regular show.
Oh, so we're the pioneer, we're the OGs, yeah? We pioneered this thing.
Oh, you the
pilot
OGs.
This thing. Come on, Kraken.
Yeah,
come on, Kraken.
Come on now.
That's my
we
boy.
in a cut.
I don't know about that with Harrell. No one's keeping DDP down. But in the next one, we're not going to do Defend Your Side. We're going to do something else, but it will still be quiz-based. So that's how we're going to be doing it, to get the debate going, because I think it's very good to have lots of different sides coming out when it comes to MMA debates, rather than being one-sided. So to everyone listening, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe at HeadkickPod. Gentlemen, where can people find you on the socials?
Hey, man. You can find me here, Elite Slab Sports. Or you can find me at Achi the Kraken everywhere. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Oh, it's X, the one formerly known as Twitter. But yeah, man. Anyways, thanks for having me on. Let's do it again next time.
Always.
Yeah, man. You can find us on the Fight Week Show. We're out there on Instagram. We're out there on Twitter. Leroy is doing the Lord's work. If anybody knows anything about the Fight Week Show, Leroy is my boy. and yeah, he does all the other technical stuff at the back there. And you know, we put on the content. So come and check us out. We do Dust Up Shakedown, we do prediction shows, we do watch alongs, and yeah, come support our content. And we got affiliated content creators all on our platform. Yao knows, you know, all of these guys, and yeah, man, it's just a real fun time when we all get together talking MMA.
You guys are blessed that I didn't pull up any of the leaderboard tables, but we'll leave that until the Friday shows. Boys, shout out. Thank you so much. We'll talk again soon. To everyone listening, don't forget to
kick him in the head.